Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Midtown USA. This is episode number 25. So welcome back to the farm here. I appreciate you coming back for another video. Yes, we have changed up our equipment just a little bit. I saw this mod out on the Giants Mod Hub and thought that, well, this would work great for maps like Thornton Farm, and even this map to a certain extent. Now, we don't need a whole lot of water here. Our animals have, well, I guess they haven't been drinking as much water here in the last couple of days. Of course, that is sort of by design. In the summer months, your cows will consume a lot more water, which would be sort of a natural process. They'll also walk through tractors. So we've got our water trigger there. We'll go ahead and pump some water into this. This is, like I said, a really cool mod. It's basically two water tanks. I would assume about 1,000 liters a piece, because I think our total capacity. No cow, you cannot drink directly from the water tank there as she walks through our tractor. These are two 1,000 gallon water containers together, put together on like a homemade kind of frame with what looks like to be an electric pump on it there and a hose. And so the general idea is that while your cows walk through your tractor and everything, because they don't know any better, you fill this up and then you can take this wherever you need to apply your water. And that's pretty cool. It certainly is makes it a little easier for maps that are kind of tight, like your typical British style farming map and so on and so forth. So if you are interested in that, you'll find the link to this mod on my mod spreadsheet. Just go to grizzlybearsims.com. Again, that's grizzlybearsims.com, and you'll see the link to that down, I believe, under the miscellaneous section. And if not, you can find it on the Giants Mod Hub if you search for it there. Anyway, so we'll just kind of poorly and crudely get back over here so that we can refill this guy. Pretty easy to do. Just back up to your water point and hit the right button. Of course, it's the letter R, not I. And then we'll go ahead and fill this guy back up and drop him off. And we have watered our animals. I went ahead and watered the sheep just a little bit ago. So we're going to do a couple of different things this episode. As I've kind of been setting the stage for things the last few episodes, we have been working really hard to obviously, yeah, let's just drop that right there. That'll be out of the way, I think, for now. We have been working quite hard to try to get everything ready to go for our next harvest stage, our next harvest, harvest project, I suppose, is going to be the soybeans, and that will pretty much get us wrapped up with the harvest season on this map. Our harvesting is just about to begin on Tazewell County, which will be a great thing. I think I enjoy the harvest season quite a bit, and I know that most folks that view farm sim type videos, I think they also like the harvest a little better. At least that's what some folks say. As far as their video statistics, and most watched videos and such are typically in and around the harvest process. So hopefully that'll mean that we'll get some good views and everything here on the channel, but that's not necessarily all that it's about. So we need to take care of our animals today. I try to only maybe do this once or twice per series, just because well, I know that not everyone wants to watch this process, and kind of depending on what all we've got to do, it's kind of well, I suppose there's a lot of hurry up and wait kind of moments as we wait for things to load up and everything. But it is a process that needs to take place on the farm. We've got to feed the animals, we've got to maintain the animals. Now, I don't know if I updated you all after we got done with the second grass mowing, but we got a fairly significant amount or yield off the grass meadow down at the southern portion of the map. And I'm quite pleased with the amount of of grass that we got that we put into our silage containers here, and of course that is processing and most likely already done there with the processing that was done a couple of game days ago, I believe, was when we cut that grass. So we'll just dump our silage here, give them a good tank of silage because that's what they want, silage or hay pellets. Hopefully that will fill them up, and then we will we are going to, let's see, we're going to do that. They might want another one. I think we'll go ahead and give them another trailer full. I do wish, you know, I often talk about my wish list for Farm Sim 19, and one thing that I wish that they would do, and I know that from a Giants perspective, because the Seasons mod does change how much food we can sort of apply. We'll take some out of this first one here, just kind of keep these equal, and I don't know why. I don't guess that is a necessity, but anyway, what I wish that they would do, and of course what I was going to say is I realize that the Seasons mod does change things slightly in reference to the amount of food that you can apply. You know, we can only apply 3 days worth of food with the Seasons mod versus 6 without it, but I wish that they would tell us here, you know, that there's 14,001 liters of silage or hay pellets out of whatever the capacity is. I wish they would go ahead and tell us what the capacity was for 3 days so that we could a little bit better judge how much we put into our trailers and that sort of thing. Because the thing about it is, if we were to sort of overfill them or get to a point to where that they had more silage than what we could empty out of this mixing wagon, then we could essentially mess ourselves up as we go to mix up some total mixed rations or whatever, because unlike maybe a Stevie map where we have the ability to essentially dump silage and other things into a sort of a multi-purpose silo, we don't really have that ability to do that here on, say, a map like this, or Tazewell County for that matter. And so just kind of knowing you know, what we have, you know, 26,000. Now I'm not gonna put another one in. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We are gonna drive this over and go ahead and put some bales in to get our mixed rations going, and we'll probably just do one load of mixed rations. But that would kind of be a nice feature, because that's always kind of been the head scratcher as to, okay, well, you know, how are you calculating this? And of course, it's all based on the number of animals that you have and all that kind of stuff. So the more animals you have. Now I think where did I leave? Oh, I left it in here. You know, it's based on the number of animals that you have, and that is obviously true enough. But you know, your animal numbers fluctuate on a, you know, given time period based on how well they're doing, how healthy they are, and the seasons and all that kind of stuff. But again, I think that would be kind of cool if that was in there. Okay, so we need to mix up some mixed rations. So we're gonna do 1 straw and 1 straw, 2 hay, and actually we'll do 1 straw because we've got a lot of silage. So let's do basically 1 straw, one hay, and then we'll double up on the what am I trying to say, Jerry? We'll double up on the silage. I just want to check this to make sure that this is a 4,000 liter bale, and it is. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I'm not real sure when you're going to be watching this video. I think it might fall on the week of the 3rd of April, something like that. I have been working really hard, really diligently to produce a few episodes of the different maps that I'm playing, Tazewell County and MidtownUSA. Working very hard to get a little bit of a queue going again so that I can increase the number of Farm Sim videos that you guys will be watching to at least 3, if not if not maybe 4. We'll just kind of have to see how it goes. Obviously, this map is kind of starting to come to a close. There's not, once we get our soybean harvest in, and of course that is kind of what we've been playing this whole Midtown USA based on, is flipping those fields around and getting the double crops and everything. We had wheat and barley on those fields at first, and then now we are coming in and we've planted soybean, and those soybeans are growing, and I'm hoping weather pending and everything, I'm hoping that we will start to actually harvest on, if at all possible, we'll start to harvest on game day number 6 of fall. That would be Wednesday that you see up there in the weather forecast, because, well, we've got rain tomorrow in the forecast. We've got rain in the forecast for Tuesday as well. So tomorrow in the virtual world is represented by Monday, and then Tuesday. So hopefully, fingers crossed again, fingers crossed, we will be able to harvest starting on the 6th, because it will probably take us, my guess is it would take us the 2 game days to do that. We've got 3 fields, and one of those fields is quite large. So yeah, so that is going to be more or less the deal. That's the plan, and we'll turn on our mixing wagon and get all this mixed up really nice. But what I've talked about in other episodes of Tazewell County, and I've kind of been recording things, multiple episodes of Tazewell County at one sitting almost, just simply because I sort of get into a little bit of a groove with producing content, and it's a little easier for me if I have the ability to do it this way. It's a little easier for me to record, episode 13 of Tazewell County, and then immediately follow that up after maybe I do a little bit of off-camera stuff, and follow that up with episode 14, just because I sort of better remember what I've previously done. I don't have the best memory in the world as it is, and as I'm sort of getting older, I'm finding that my memory is getting a little bit shorter. But juggling a couple of different maps, and I think at one point I was juggling three series: Tazewell, MidTown, and then Thornton Farm. And so I think that what I'm going to try to do is, Pure Farming 18 is something that I'm quite interested in playing personally, from a personal perspective, and I may put episodes on the channel, maybe like 1 a week or something like that. I'm not gonna dominate it. I know a lot of folks are a little concerned about whether or not I would replace Giants Farm Sim 17 with something else, whether that be Cattle and Crops or Pure Farming or whatever, and that's just not going to be the case. That is just not going to be the case. That's not my plan. I know I've said some things such as, I really only need one agricultural-based simulation game, and while that is true, I certainly don't see Cattle and Crops catching up anytime soon with what we think that we will see in Farm Sim 19. And again, Pure Farming I've yet to play, and I hope to play it very soon. I hope that more or less what I'm waiting on with regards to Pure Farming 18 is them to get it configured so that I can basically connect my G27 to the game. And so I'm sort of riding the fence on I haven't even played it. I haven't even actually installed it. I haven't even told Steam to install it. And I'm so appreciative to Eustace Pharmer for gifting that to me. It was very kind of him to do. And but I know that he understands my reluctance to disconnect everything, because he himself, as we leave our vehicles running around here, he himself has had some of the same problems, and because of just the amount of extra peripherals that I have, I'm talking about all my flight sim stuff and everything, it just kind of is a bit of a chore to disconnect everything. So we need to bring some straw over for our cows, and then we need to bring some hay over for our sheep, and that will pretty much wrap up our animal feed at this particular point in time. Now, most likely, what I will do is before we'll need to feed our animals again before Wednesday the 6th, because I'm sort of targeting Wednesday the 6th, fingers crossed, that our soybeans are going to be ready by then. Hopefully that will be the case. If not, then we'll just have to go with the flow and do whatever we have to do. But I'm sort of targeting Wednesday the 6th as being when our soybeans will be ready. If that is the case, then I'll make sure that off camera we get our animals topped up to the max levels on everything: hay, straw, silage, water, everything, all those particulars, just like I sort of did with before we started the other harvest. And I guess he's not going to take that bell. That's fine. With the other harvesting that we've done on this map is get everything, get all these tasks that aren't specifically related to harvesting, get them all done, so that way we can focus on harvesting. Because if for some example, for some reason, those soybean fields are not ready to harvest on, let's say, for example, Wednesday the 6th, but they are on the 7th, then we've got a potential rain day in between those that we need to obviously work around, and we'll get it all done. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's my philosophy in this. And let's see if we can back up, and we need to just get 2 bales of hay here, and these look like as good as any to grab a hold of there. We'll get these out, back up. And of course we've got these automatic doors, and clicking my mouse to move my bell forks up and down causes the door to close if I'm close enough to it. Just the little challenges of running a virtual farm here. Let's see, is that going to be enough? Yeah, they don't need that one, so we'll take this one back to the farm. But again, I think it would just be a nice feature if we could look at this and it would tell us that our hay was 4,096 out of whatever. The percentage doesn't really help me. Maybe if I really thought about it, I could figure it out. But again, with your animal numbers fluctuating the way that they do, the way that they will sort of naturally, then it does make it a little bit of a challenge to keep everything the way that it's supposed to. Now, technically, we're not, and I know in the first part of this series, I know I kept our telehandler inside that barn with the hay. Technically, you wouldn't want to do that in real life because, well, it's a hot engine and it is dry grass, dry straw, and those two things can produce something called a fire, and that can destroy not only our building, which is important to us, but also destroy our hay and our straw, which we need desperately. Okay, so we're about 20 minutes into this video, and I wanted to do one more thing because we need to shift some of this manure. Now, this is my favorite manure shifting apparatus set up here. A tractor, the wonderful Phrase, I guess that is the best pronunciation for it. I think it may be a French thing. Anyway, this is I think I did a 5-minute mod review on this, and I'm sure it's out there on my channel. If anyone wants to get a link to it, I'd be happy to give that to you if you contact me over on Discord. But this is a manure chewing through machine. Basically, this thing will do just about anything. It'll pick up just about anything that's out there, and it does it quite nice. And of course, we've got our wonderful Penta DB50 tipper trailer behind it, so this will work wonders. What we're going to do is, Farmer Klein is playing MidtownUSA, and I don't know how much longer he's going to be playing this map. And of course, our series, our videos and everything are not synced up together at all. He's done more than 1 year on this map, and I've chosen only to do, I'm only going to do 1 year on this map. But so just from the storyline perspective, we are going to basically sell him, or actually I think the better approach would be is we're going to utilize the compost facility plant that he runs, and basically all he told us that we needed to do was supply the fuel and supply the material, and just basically leave it the way that we found it. In other words, make sure that we get all of the compost and everything out of it, that the machine processes over the next several days, and we can basically utilize it, and we'll give him a small percentage of the profit that we make from selling the compost. We'll get that to him, and he'll allow us to use that facility. So we have this morning, we have already taken 1 load of manure up, and we have also taken our fuel tanker up there. We filled the machine with fuel, and we will be, like I said, we'll be tending to it, and of course more than likely we will empty the compost out of it in the same fashion. Unfortunately, unlike say for example a Stevie mod or Stevie map, where we have the wonderful compost facility on a Stevie map where he gives us a loading chute, we don't have that with regards to this map. So we need to either pick it up with a I think that's good enough. We either need to pick it up with the phrase, as in like something like this, or we need to basically take a front end loader or something else up there like that to do that with. So I think that's gonna help us right there with making sure that we don't overflow our solid manure capabilities there. That's been something that's been on my mind for the last couple of days as I see the numbers creep up and up and up, and I think I can. I think this T8 will pull this almost 50,000 liters of hot, sticky, stinky manure up the hill. I think I can. I'm pretty sure it will. I've done this before, obviously. That is a pretty steep hill. It's quite funny because I often have memories of, the many hours that I playing Westbridge Hills. And if you all remember from Farm Sim 15, from just the default Westbridge Hills map, you know that there was a field back here, back behind the main farm area, and it had quite a hill. And I don't know if ccs101 has basically left the terrain more or less the way it was in the default Westbridge Hills, or if he's tweaked it a little bit. But I will tell you that there was, when I was first starting to play the map, and obviously, playing with default equipment that they give you, because at first with Farm Sim 15, and I did it with 17, I'll more than likely do it with 19 when it first comes out, is I will play sort of a career mode process through it, and I will start with exactly what they give us, and I will earn our money, and we'll through blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of hard work, we'll accumulate more equipment and everything. So that's how I initially played Farm Sim 15. And the little tractor, I don't know if it was a Deutz-Fahr or what, I think it was a Deutz-Fahr. That little tractor would just barely pull like the loading wagon or the tipper or whatever up that hill, and I would often have to kind of go up the hill sort of sideways, or maybe it was the combine that had difficulty, or the cultivator, I don't know. I just remember that at one point you would have to go up the hill, maybe it was like cultivating or seeding. You'd have to go up the hill, not seeding or not cultivating, with your cultivator and your seeder and everything lifted up, and then do it down the hill, seeding. So I don't know, I'm just kind of babbling here. So let's just go ahead and make a little swinging turn here, a little swinging arch. And our hay meadow is growing back again. That is good to see. I don't know if we will do any more grass on this map or not, but if we need it, we could certainly utilize it. I'm sure that we can get another cutting out of that if we wanted to, because again, we are only just in the third game day of fall, and while the grass and everything may not grow as quickly in the fall as it obviously does in the summertime, we could probably get another cutting again if we wanted to. So there we go. We're backed up to our facility here, and let's just run up the little hill here, try not to get squashed by our tipper, and we will take a look and see. We are putting in quite a bit there, so I don't know if we can get all of this in. Maybe we can. I hope we can. Did we? It's coming down. Hopefully we got everything in there, because otherwise we're going to have to dump this someplace. But yeah, that's our compost facility. And again, like I said, we've already run some up here. Let me just check on, we can see our fuel level right here. So 16,249 liters of fuel. That should be sufficient, I would think, to process that amount of material. And we've got 798. Where am I getting that? Oh, that's in the fraise. Let's do this, because the fraise has some stuff in it. There we go. And then we'll just back up here again, and we'll unfold that, and then we'll do this, and that way it's all in there. And then we'll head back to the main farm, and I'll sort of wrap this episode up. I appreciate you guys watching my episodes. I genuinely do. It's not just words that I'm saying. I do genuinely appreciate you guys taking the time out of your schedule to watch my content. I hope that my content remains as interesting as maybe it was when I started this thing up a couple of years ago. And we're going to be wrapping things up on, again, these two maps, Tazewell and Midtown USA. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sort of only do one map for Farm Sim 17 and try to give you at least 3 episodes of that per week. So what that will ultimately mean is that we kind of will be able to get through maps a little bit quicker, maybe that way, and that way, because there's so many wonderful maps that I want to check out, and I've kind of got an idea what the next map is going to be. I don't know if it, I've got some British maps, I've got some US maps. I've kind of got an idea where we're going to go, and as I learn a little bit more about that, I might fill you in, or maybe it'll just be a surprise. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys watching, and we'll probably have 3, like I said, 3 videos, 3 Farm Sim 17 videos per week. I'm still going to do sort of a mix of ETS2 and ATS trucking videos, one of those per week. And then if once Pure Farming 18, once that is set up and I can configure my G27 and everything to work, and that sort of is proven to be a reliable setup and everything, and I don't have any other bugs or issues with that, then I will take a look at how I can bring Pure Farming 18 to the channel. Again, I think it would just be maybe 1 or 2 episodes a week, nothing dominating. And for all of you guys that have watched those 6 or 7 or 8 episodes of Cattle and Crops, I have still not had the time, and I know I need to just make the time to do it, but I have not checked to see if that bug that I encountered, if I encountered that bug, if that still exists. I just have to say that I'm just kind of a little disappointed in Cattle and Crops, and I guess that my motivation to really go and check and see if the bug is fixed, and most likely I'm going to have to like start those all over again and everything. And to be quite honest, I don't feel the motivation to go and do that right now. So I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll say, okay, I need to do that for the benefit of myself and my own investment and everything with the game. But I think just for right now, I'm going to just sort of look and see what Pure Farming is going to have in store once they release the fix for the G27, and just continue having fun with FarmSim 17 and looking forward to FarmSim 19. So until really all those things happen, thank you for watching. Take good care of yourselves and also of each other. And come back here and see us again here on Midtown USA or Tazewell County. God bless you all. Bye-bye.